Hey, DeMar. Tough shooting night from behind the arc this evening. In that fourth quarter, were you guys looking to get more into the paint, or was there just the feeling that you couldn't hit a three? Just that fourth quarter looked like you guys weren't spraying as much as you should be.
Yeah, we were just trying to make a push, trying to be aggressive, just trying to cause some confusion. Sometimes fourth quarter, you just kind of erase whatever happened in the first three quarters as far as shots, and you just try to play. We gave it a push, but it's tough to win a game when you only make three pointers. It just wasn't our night tonight.
DeMar, the three-point shot seems to have been like a reoccurring thing here early in the season. What do you guys have to do to sort of figure that one out? I think you guys you came into the night 27th in the league, but I'm sure it dropped after tonight.
Yeah, they're gonna fall. We just gotta find a rhythm, not hesitate. A lot of shots I think we hesitated. And there was a lot of opportunities we could have generated easier shots for one another, but it's just all about the rhythm. Once we have string a couple games together, shooting the ball well, we'll be fine.
DeMar, Mike talked about that hesitation too. How much is that showing up on film or part of the film study right now, and can it be kind of a confidence factor that when guys do hesitate a little bit?
I think it could just come being a little bit too unselfish at times. Sometimes when you got a shot, you just got to take it. I think sometimes we turn down shots trying to look for a better shot, not realizing, that was probably the best shot in that moment. Just being more conscious of that and taking the shots once we get them, once they come. Instead of hesitating, thinking, we're going to get that same type of shot the next possession, when in actuality we just getting a tougher shot next. And those possessions kind of steamroll over. And next thing you know, you stringing together misses instead of good looks and makes.
Sorry to continue hyper-focusing on the three-point shooting, but over the course of your career, have you gone through a team-wide slump like this before, and how specifically, if you remember, did the team work out of it?
I'm sure I have. You go through slumps when you're trying to figure it out. And it's all in good merit. Like I said, a lot of shots that we hesitate on is us, trying to be too unselfish. And once we look at film, once we realize where the shot's coming from, the opportunity of us being able to get more shots and letting them go, we'll be fine. We just gotta let them ride.
DeMar, you and Norman Powell are averaging 25 or more points a game and over 50% shooting from the field. He had 31 points and 12 rebounds tonight. Could you talk a little bit about what he was doing tonight offensively and defensively?
Yeah, he always had it in him. I was fortunate enough. That was my, rookie in Toronto. I seen how much he worked, his mentality, his hunger, his drive, and, he taking advantage of his opportunity being out there in the starting lineup. I think that's kind of what he always wanted to kind of be, especially, after he won his ring, the experience that he have, everything he gained. He's played with some great players throughout his career. And I think it's just all coming together for him, with him having the opportunity to be a starter.
Obviously, you've been in a lot of games that have had a handful of whistles, but even from like a viewer perspective, this was a pretty sluggish one. Not asking you to comment on the officiating itself, but when there is a night with a lot of whistles like that, do you feel like it takes away from the rhythm of a game?
At times, and it's crazy because, we shot one more free throw than him. But, when you put a team on a free throw line early, you give them a rhythm, and it kind of steamrolls from there. Instead of fouling throughout the game, I think we put them on the line so early, and they had a rhythm from there.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, DeMar.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely try to. I think we won obviously I had a lot of turnovers, but we won the turnover battle. Free throws basically the same. I mean, where we truly lost the game was the three-point line. I mean, we made more shots, we made the same amount of free throws, but they make 14 threes, we made 3. So it's going to be hard to win a game when you're shooting like that. But some looks we had that we didn't take. So you kind of just have to watch the film, and if the pass was bad or whatever it may be, we have to fix that. But obviously we need to shoot the ball a lot better.
De'Aaron, just how much is the hand bothering you? I mean, the 7 turnovers tonight, you're averaging over 4 a game early in the season. I know you take pride in not turning the ball over, but is it an issue?
I mean, it is what it is. I can't really do much about it. I'm not going to have a month off or anything, so I'm able to play, so I'm out there.
The defensive trapping seemed like half-court trapping really started working for you guys in the fourth quarter to help make that run. Is that something that you can only do situationally over stretches of games, or is that something you could do for all 4 quarters?
I mean, I don't think there are many NBA teams that really do that, like throwing junk defenses out there. I don't know. I mean, we have a press in there, and I think a lot of teams do, and you kind of take advantage of that situation. Most of the time after free throws, after timeouts, you kind of do things like that. And if you can get guys, right across half court where you can, use half court as another defender, then you do get those types of traps. But obviously in the fourth quarter, you're just trying to speed the game up a bit.
De'Aaron, coach said he wanted you guys to shoot at least, 10 more threes. Was the fact that you guys were kind of off from deep was why you guys were kind of hesitant?
I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but one thing Jay Triano always says is take the hezzy out of your game. Not like a hezzy dribble, but when you're catching the ball and you should shoot it, and then you second thought, or if you that's because a lot of times that could be the best shot that we're probably going to get in the possession. Whenever you give up a great shot, most possessions kind of turn into shit. So as a team, you have to try to get the hezzy out of your game. If you have a shot, you need to take it.
De'Aaron, is that a confidence thing that maybe certain guys are wrestling with, and is that something that can easily be overcome just with a good night or two?
I mean, as a team, most of our team are historically good shooters. So obviously guys go through slumps and that sort, but at the end of the day, you got to shoot the ball. And I think, funny enough, a lot of teams, regardless of how a lot of our guys shoot, they still have that respect, because if that ball goes in one time, the rim can start looking like ocean for a lot of our guys. So for us, is take the shot. No one's gonna be mad if you're taking a good shot. So that has to be our motto as a team. Obviously, I don't know what our lowest 3-point attempts, but 26. Obviously, like Mike said, he wants us to shoot 10, 15 more. So we have to be able to take those shots, because if we don't, you kind of look at a game like this where I don't know how many times we didn't score 100 points in a game in the last 2 years, but it can only be a handful of times, and you kind of have nights like this when you don't take those shots.
You started the game defending Harden. Is that a assignment that you asked for, or is that just the coach telling you this is what you're going to do to start the game? Where did that come from?
Truthfully, I've guarded James every time whenever we play the Clippers. But yeah, I mean, as a player, I want to be able to affect the game on both ends of the court. Obviously, I got 2 fouls early in the game. But after that, I think we were pretty good defensively. They shot 11 free throws in the first half, and then ended with 23, so only shot 12 free throws for the rest of the game. So I think we did a much better job keeping them off the free throw line. But yeah, I want to be able to affect the games at both ends of the court. If I'm not scoring, just being able to affect it on the other end.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Coach.
Clippers defensively have been pretty solid in terms of like points per game, defensive rating, defensive field goal percentage, but not quite as strong against the three. You like to spray and let it fly. Is that kind of part of the way you attack this defense?
Yeah, we it doesn't matter who we play. We want to let it fly. We feel like we're a good 3-point shooting team, although the numbers might not point that direction right now, but we think we have guys that can knock that shot down. And anytime you touch the paint, especially in today's NBA, everybody just converges. And so you want to be able to spray the basketball and let that thing fly and knock down shots for sure.
Mike, do you take anything from that preseason game that you guys played against them? And then James Harden's more their focal point of their offense. Just how much are you keying in on him defensively this evening?
Well, yeah, I mean, they in the preseason game, they were You could tell that they're athletic. They play very, very hard. They all bought into the defense end of the floor. You got a lot of defenders, and you take that away. But I've said it a couple times before. I kind of handcuffed our guys, and not to say that it's going to be easy tonight, because it's not. It's going to be very, very hard. But I handcuffed our guys, and we were missing a couple of guys. They were missing a couple of guys, and so what you take from it is how hard they play, how relentless they are, their ability to switch bodies 1 through 5 most times, unless Zubac is involved. Maybe they may not switch it in and there, but and then they get out and run. They're going to put pressure on you with their athleticism when it comes to rebounding. So those are things that you take away from it.
Coach,
and Harden, Harden's. I'm sorry, Harden's. He's tough, no matter who he's with or what you're throwing at him. You just can't give him the same thing. Hopefully, knock on wood, he'll miss a couple of shots.
Yeah, Coach, Norman Powell, he's averaging 25 points a game, shooting 53% from the floor. I think he 7 or 8 straight games, 20-plus points or more. What's your assessment of him and what he's doing for the Clippers right now, this early in the season?
Man, he's having a phenomenal year so far. He's scoring it in a lot of different ways. It's not just catching and shooting. He's coming off of pin downs. He's coming off of DHOs. He's getting out in transition, and he's more athletic than what you think. He's a little longer than what you think, and he's been able to score it his whole career. It's just now there's some room for more minutes, and when a guy like that gets more minutes, with the way that he can put that thing in the hole from all 3 levels, he's very, very dangerous, and so he's having a very, very good year, and he's going to be tough to contain.
I don't know how much you pay attention to like the numbers when we're 8-9 games in the season, but you guys are 5th in offensive rating, yet the 3-point shooting is like near the bottom. What have you guys been able to do to still maintain that efficiency? And do you kind of like the fact that like, hey, we're finding other ways to manufacture points without being super efficient from 3 at this point?
Oh, for sure. You definitely like that, because come playoff time, the game gets tougher, and you're not going to just be able to shoot threes. You're not going to just be able to get to the rim. So you got to find other ways to score, and we're going through that process now. Every time we play, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with my rotation. Every time we play, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with what we want to do offensively. And on top of that, if I have some comfort level, to me, it's going to the players are going to feel it too. So we're still in a little bit of a search mode, but while going through this search mode, guys are trying to make the right play. They're trying to play, like I said, for each other, and we have guys that are capable, and they're showing it now. And the 3-ball is a thing that I know we're a better shooting team than what we're shooting right now, so that's going to get better in time. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I want our guys to keep shooting it, because that's going to be there on some nights, and especially with the way that we play and having guys that command double teams. So we want our guys to keep letting it fly, and we'll keep trying to be unselfish and being efficient with what we're doing inside the 3-point line as well.
Hi, Mike. Speaking of the process offensively, getting more comfortable, how can you describe what it's been like to fit DeMar into the DHO game?
Yeah, first thing is he and Domas, they got together for at least a week this summer down in L.A., so they spent time working out together, talking about the little nuances that they like when it comes to the DHO game and some other things. And then, really, if you watch DeMar when he was in Chicago, I didn't watch him closely until we were in the mix with him, but if you watch his film from when he was there, you could see he's just a basketball player. Everybody's like, he's a mid-range ISO guy. No. This dude, he brought in transition. He played drag pick and roll. He played double drag pick and roll. He came off not a ton, because Chicago doesn't do it as much as us, but he came off a lot of DHOs. And not only did he do those things to score, but he also hit the big in the pocket. He also sprayed the basketball, and those are all things that we like to do. We like to mix those things in, and so it's been a pretty seamless fit. But for me, I wanted to make sure that That wasn't the only way he got the ball. We wanted to put him in different spots, let him catch it different ways, let him bring it different ways in the pick and roll game, and trying to get to a point where we can move him around a little bit as well as Fox around a little bit will only benefit us in the long run. And you know, right now we have most of the actions in that we like for those two guys. There's a few more things we may want to add in due time, but most of the actions are there, and the guys have done a really good job of picking up on it, even though we've thrown them a lot of the stuff not too long ago. Thank y'all.